I gave an AI agent one simple instruction: summarize me the latest AI news. It refused. At that moment, I realized something unsettling. These things don't just follow the instructions anymore. They interpret, they optimize, and sometimes disagree. Let's clear up something upfront. An AI agent is not just ChatGPT with some extra buttons. A chatbot answers the question, but an AI agent, it pursues the goal. Every agent, no matter how complex it is, it follows a loop: goal, plan, act, observe, reflect, and then repeat. Here is where things get interesting. Almost 67% of companies already use AI tools, but only 19% are actually using agent. So yeah, everybody is talking about AI agent, but in reality, nobody is actually using it. And things get even more interesting when one agent is not enough. A single agent is like a solo developer. It knows everything, it does everything, and it breaks everything. What it actually does: reason, decide, validate, execute, all in one loop. It has some pros, like it's simple architecture, cheap to build, and it's easy to execute. It has a big disadvantage that it gets overwhelmed, and it's not specialized in any topic, and it's hard to scale. And multi-agent, it's like replacing the single developer with the whole team. Just an information drop: multi-agent usage has increased by 327% in just last 4 months. We are not moving toward multi-agent system, we are already there. So now the real question is, what kind of system should you build? Now this is where most people get wrong. They think building an agent means just calling GPT in a loop. That's not an agent. That's a glorified while loop. Real agent follows patterns. And once you understand these patterns, you stop guessing and start engineering. The first one is a React pattern: reason plus act loop. This is the most raw form of agent. The flow for the React pattern is think, action, observation, and repeat that process. The LLM is used to make a decision at every step. It decides what to do next, which tools to use, and when to stop. The key insight for this pattern is you are not asking LLM what's the answer, you're just asking what's the next step. It has the same problem of the single agent pattern: that's infinite loops, token explosion, and unpredictable behavior. You can use it when there is unknown environments, when there is a tool heavy task and exploration task. And next one is plan and execute pattern. In this pattern, before executing, you plan first and then execute, as the name suggests. The difference in this pattern is only that you plan before the execution, and there is a separate phase called planning phase and execution phase. The advantage of this pattern is you reduce chaos because there is now the structured pattern before the implementation. You can use it when there is like predictable workflows, automation pipeline, or code generation. The third type is reflection and critique pattern. This is where agent gets a second brain. In this pattern, you run 3 LLM phases. First, answer. Second, critique. And third, improve the answer. The direct trade-off for this pattern is it costs more. And of course, there will be more latency. You can use this pattern when you are writing something or analyzing something, or where you need the high accuracy. The fourth one is tool use pattern. In this pattern, LLMs are really smart, but they don't do anything. So we give them the tools. In this pattern, you are turning your LLM into a decision engine, not just to generate the text. And you can use this pattern when you are dealing with APIs, databases, or some real-world task. The fifth one is human in the loop. And this is more practical in the production. You don't remove humans completely, but you add them in the specific place where they are more important. The core idea is to pause, ask, and continue. All of this pattern still are only one agent, one brain trying to do everything. And it works until the problems gets even bigger. And when it happens, you don't upgrade a brain, you bring a team. This is where agents stop being tools and start becoming a system. One agent is intelligence, multiple agent is whole organization. And organization is where the real power comes from. So in multi-agent pattern, the first one is planner and executor. Instead of one brain doing everything, we split the actions, the thinking action and doing action. The thinker is a planner agent, and the one who does, it's an executor agent. By doing this, separating a thinking and execution agent, you are reducing a cognitive load. But there is a high risk. If the planning goes wrong, if the planner agent does a wrong task, then the whole implementation fails. The next one is critic and reviewer pattern. In this pattern, there are two agents. One executes the task and second reviews it, critiques it. The difference with the single agent pattern is in this one, the single LLM is not doing the both tasks, but we have the two agents with the two LLMs that are doing a separate execution and the critic. You externalize the self-criticism into a separate agent. So the disadvantages are the cost doubles. And next one is they might go into the endless criticism, endless discussion. The next one is supervisor and orchestrator. This is how the real systems are built. You don't let agent to run endlessly. You should have someone supervising the agent. The architecture of this pattern is there is one supervisor agent and there are multiple worker agents specialized in something. And this supervisor agent supervises these worker agents. In this pattern, this supervisor agent decides the next step and specialized agent does that task. You move from prompting to orchestrating. So obviously the risk would be the single point of failure. If the orchestrator, if the boss is failing, then the whole task fails. So the next one in the multi-agent pattern is parallel agents. As name suggests, there are multiple agents running parallelly. Your multiple agents work at the same time. The key insight for this pattern is you trade off coordination complexity with speed. And the obvious risk is the conflicting outputs and how to merge the context. And the next one is sequential pipeline agents. As the name suggests, here also you have multiple agents, but they are running sequentially. This is the cleanest agent system, I would say, because one does its job, specialized on specific task, and then it passes to another one. But it will take more time, obviously, and there can be multiple bottlenecks. If one agent doesn't perform its task, then it doesn't pass it to another one. So technically the workflow is failing. And the last one for this multi-agent pattern is debate and chat pattern. And this is my personal favorite. Instead of one particular answer, you let your agent argue with each other. There are multiple agents with different roles. One is optimistic, one is critical, one is clever, and they discuss with their roles and come up with one particular answer after multiple sets of chatting, multiple sets of debating. The key insight is you simulate the multiple perspective inside one system. And the risk is it can spiral into multiple loops. And since we are using multiple agents in this one, it's really expensive. Now look at this carefully. You didn't just build an agent anymore. You build a system of intelligence. So the real question isn't here, can you build an agent anymore? The real question is, what system should you build? And this is where most developers mess up. They don't design a system. They vibe code and expect it to work. You need to decide. Use single agent when a task is linear, task is simple, and there is low risk. Use multi-agent when task is really complex. You need validation, you need specialization. Single agents are like a script, but multi-agents are like an architecture. But one reality check, multi-agent doesn't mean it's better. Sometimes you are just building a smart chaos. Here's the uncomfortable truth. 95% of AI projects, they don't go to a production. Why? Because they have too much autonomy, no evaluation, no control. Agent, they don't fail because they are dumb. They fail because you provide too much autonomy, but without a context, without a structure. So let's get back to my first question. Why did my agent refuse me? Because I provided it with instruction, but it optimized it for the goal. I didn't got what I instructed it. I got the optimized version of it. And that's all for this video. If you find this video informative, then please like this video, subscribe this channel, and we will meet on the next video. Thank you for watching.